about him in such glowing terms. See, many of us, mashallah, the brothers at the masjid might think that we're great. The sisters in the halaqah, they think that we're great. But when we're praised in public, our spouses look out the window. I see, there must be someone else named Ubaydullah. Didn't think the name was as common as it apparently is. No, his wife could speak about him like that. She could testify to his virtue. How many of us can say that? You know, Anas ibn Malik, he served the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to run errands for the Prophet alaihi wasallam. He was his mother's gift to the Prophet alaihi wasallam. And he said, I served the Prophet. And sometimes I would misbehave. Right? He had a little badmash. Little walid mushazib. Right? Sometimes I would misbehave. He said, but the Prophet, he never even said the slightest word of discontent to me, ever. And there was never anything that I did that he said, why did you do that? Not trying to, force him to introspection. Yes, we ask our children, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? Why do you think you made such a poor choice? He never asked him, why did you do that to belittle him? And there was never anything that I left that he said, لِمَاذَا تَرَكْتَ? Why did you leave that to belittle him? And then he said, I have never touched silk or brocade, dabaj, softer than the palm of the Prophet ﷺ. Now I have really applied myself to studying the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, the shama'il of the Prophet ﷺ, and I still don't know anything about his skincare routine. I don't know. I don't know how physically soft his hands were. But I do know that a hand that is abusive, a hand that harms, is never described as soft. See, no one is slapped by their father and says, Dad, you've been using Noxzema? Dad, what is that? CeraVe? Your hands, Jergens, your hands are so soft when they're slapping me. Your hands are so soft when you're handling me harshly. No one ever says that. He described the hand of the Prophet ﷺ as soft, indicating its gentleness. You see? And then he finished by saying, كَانَ أَحْسَنَ النَّاسِ خُلُقًا. The Prophet ﷺ had the best character. I hate to tell you this. No, actually, I love to tell you this. For children, it might be just that simple. My children really don't care how hard I work to keep the phone ringing and keep the roof over the top. They don't care how much money I'm saving so that they can go to the best schools in America. They don't care that when I come home and I see them looking at me, I just see $500,000 of college tuition. Assalamu alaikum, Daddy. Wa alaikum salam. Dad, why are you crying? This stuff costs money, man. They don't care about any of that. What Anna said, this is what they care about. He doesn't belittle me. He doesn't speak harshly to me. He doesn't abuse me. He's gentle and comforting. He has the best character. His way becomes an exemplary way. I'll say this in closing, because they've only given me 12 minutes. And I see some of my students here, they know I can't spell my name in 12 minutes. But I, working for the American Learning Institute for Muslims, I get to tour many college campuses all over the country, and I get to talk to people. And I've spoken to many people that have grown disaffected with Islam, people that have left Islam. And the most common trait I see among them is that many of them had tyrannical fathers. When I begin probing, pushing a little bit, asking them about their experience, it is almost hardly ever the case that they grew dissatisfied. Oh, Sister Megda's making that stroll. I know what that stroll means. Right? It is hardly ever the case that they just grew disaffected with Islamic theology. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you going? لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ مُحَمَّدٌ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. The creed is clear. Where are you going after that? It is usually negative experiences, the epicenter of which is unfortunately usually the family. So when we talk about the restoration of our community, we talk about the redemption of our community, it is not going to be in any way possible except that we reprioritize the family. And that all of us see dealing with family as a moral responsibility that we cannot afford to be disillusioned with. You know what they say about disillusionment? If you're disillusioned with something, you should ask yourself, why did I have any illusions about it to begin with? Family is hard. It's supposed to be because it refines you, it elevates you, it raises you, it cultivates you, it develops you. Good thing for us, we have the best example. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.
Our next speaker is Dr. Rania Awad. Dr. Rania is